Hello and welcome to another video of this no-code app development using Firebase and AppGyver. In the last video, we discussed how do you want to create a favorites on this app. A user logs in and the user is able to set or select favorite courses. So the step number 2 in the section is to create a flow to get the user ID of the user who is logged in. So the last video we set up in the authentication, we set up two users, user 1, user 2, and in the real-time database, we set up users and we created two users, in fact, three users, me at gmail.com, user 1 at app.com, and user 2 at app.com. Now, in this video, we are going to use this logic to create a flow in the home page. So what we're going to do is in the BDCS learning app, go to the home page. Home page is the page which occurs after the user logs in successfully. That is my home page for now. At the bottom of the screen, you see the home button. Expand it. Now, the first thing we need to do is, as the user has logged in already on this page, we need to get the user ID from Firebase. So I go to installed and I get current user. Now, if you do not have this in your list, then you click on flow functions, search for Firebase, and you should be able to get current user. Install it. I have already got it installed. Make sense? Next, I'm gonna connect this for page mount and page focused. Next, I'm gonna go here. So I'm gonna get Firebase authenticated user and I'm gonna set it in a variable. So I go to variables and in the app variables, I create two variables from add app variable. I'll create user underscore email text and user ID. So user underscore email and user ID as two app variables. Next, I'm going to go back to the core. Now, for this node, there are three outputs. You can read the details of this output in the output section over here when you click it. For now, I'm going to use the port 1. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to set from the port 1 the app variable. So the first variable I'm going to set is user email. If the user ID shows up, just click on it and select user email. And in the assigned value, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use output value of other node get Firebase auth email. So I'm going to set the app variable user email as Firebase auth current user email. Click on save. Next, what I'm going to do is from here, I'm going to, so I got the user email, right? Now I have written a small Postman URL, which is the Firebase URL /learn/users.json order by email. That means if you remember the CRUD operations in one of the videos in our YouTube tutorials, order by email equal to user1.app. If I send it, it will give me the JSON for the user 1. And user 2, it's going to give me the JSON for user 2. So this is the URL that I need to post. And therefore, in this, I'm going to use HTTP request. So I have HTTP request here, but if you do not, go back to the flow and type HTTP request and install it. I've already got it installed. So after this, I'm going to get HTTP request, and then I'm gonna use the get method, go to the ABC, create a formula. Now I already have a formula written. It's very simple, which is join. So let's look at this. What I'm doing is I'm joining in the square brackets. Join is the function, and I'm using this. The forward slash, this slash, the backslash, and the double quotes, meaning it's going to show this quote over here like this. So HTTPS this. Now I'm using app vars.user email. So you can go to app variable and you see user email, comma. That means join is going to join the first text, which is this, to the second text, which is my email ID from the app variable, and print pretty you don't need, but I'm just having it. This is the URL it should form. This URL you should be able to validate in the Postman. If you are not, you are doing something wrong. Now, because you are using order by, remember the CRUD operations, go back to the Firebase, go to the rules and add users index on rule. So put a comma from the master videos, comma, users index or dot index on email. Make sense? Please ensure that this rule is there, otherwise it's gonna error out. So back to here, HTTP request, save. Now HTTP request also has 3 ports. Click on output, you will see port 1, port 2, and port 3. Port 3 is generally the error. If you want to catch error, so what you can do is set up the alert. So we can get error in Firebase authentication time as well. So I'm going to say alert, and I'm creating alerts. This is just to ensure that I get error messages. This is just the error handling piece. Now from the HTTP, the first one is the output of the user ID, the entire JSON. I'll show you really quickly. So let's see, I'm going to add alert to get what is the output of HTTP request. So what I'm going to do is I added alert. I go back here, output value of other node, HTTP request, and I'll say raw response body and click on save. So I have now alert on the first node just to show you what it returns back. I click on save. I go back to the app output. It's not letting me go there. Okay. So I click on app preview, BDCS learning app, and I'm going to say me@gmail.com, password, and I log in. So once I log in, you see this JSON. This is the JSON which is returned as was returned by Firebase. Sorry, the Postman from Firebase. So what I'm going to do right now here is, and I have tried this with multiple methods. So this is the best method I thought, but you should figure out on your own. So based on this response, what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for this string like this, and then replace this entire string with ZZZ. Sorry, this is the best method I found. AppGyver has some limitations, and so does Firebase integration. So this is one of the methods which I found. If you have a better method, put it in the description section with the video below. Please comment on the video. So now I have written a function to substring this and get 0. My idea is to get the ID 0. So for this, I will go back in here, and in the alert itself, I'm not going to confuse you. In the alerts itself, rather than directly getting the output value of other node, I'm going to write a formula. And the formula is this. And I'm going to paste the formula as well as the join condition in the video description section below. what it does is it looks for this particular pattern and replaces this pattern with 5 Z's, and then splits this string with Z, and I'm going to get the first one. This is a complicated calculation I have created to get the ID. I'm sorry, this is how I got the success. So I saved it, I go back and see you get only 0. Let me try logging in with some other user. So I go back in here, open preview portal, click on open, and I'm going to use user2@gmail.com password. Whoops, user not Gmail, app.com, and see user2. So this is the ID. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the app variable ID. So I can get rid of this alert and then use the same function to set the user ID. So in this drop down, I select user ID because I am now setting the user ID. And in this, I go back in here, create the formula, the same formula. Now, what I want you to do is run this formula in the alert one by one, starting from the innermost formula first. So start with replace one regex, see what it returns back, then add a split, and at the very end, like the second would be this piece, right? And then add one more to it, substring, and then integer. And you would see how slowly and slowly this formula is built. You will get it clear. I know it's complicated, my bad, but this is how I got success. If you have any other method, please paste in the video comment section below. Now, using this, I'm able to set the app variable user ID, and just for the sake of it, let's add a quick alert. So now this time I'm not going to write the function again. I'm going to use the app variable user ID, and I save it. I go back in here and refresh it. I see that my variable, the user ID, comes back. So this is done. Step number 3 is going to be the creation of user favorite collections. This I'm going to show it to you in the next video. Again, thank you for watching.